we hope that during this COVID emergency, our member countries will provide access to emergency assistance to all our regions in our countries, because equity in health is a fundamental principle of public health. In this regard, let me say that it is a matter of concern that COVID-19 has been reported from Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And in view of the health emergency, it is imperative that all lockdown in the disputed territory must be lifted immediately. Opening up communications and movement would facilitate dissemination of information, allow distribution of medical supplies, and enable containment and relief efforts to proceed unimpeded.
So there you heard what really Pakistan tried to pull during that conference. It was solely to discuss measures on COVID-19 outbreak. Remember, Pakistan is the second most populous region as far as SAARC countries is concerned. Owing to its size, it's also the country that has reported the most cases among SAARC countries of coronavirus after India. Yet this is what their focus is. I'm joined by Rabindranath Sachdev, Foreign Affairs expert, J.K. Tripathi, former diplomat. Mr. Tripathi, I want to come to you first. You know, this is why nobody really wants to deal with Pakistan, because these are the tricks they try to pull off. There's absolutely no contribution to the larger world except for terrorism. And even when they come on a platform like this, we know the troubles that have happened in SAARC because of Pakistan. This is what they try to do. Your first take.
You see, I was not only surprised but very much disappointed.
Yeah.
First, by the level of representation in this summit, in this meeting. What happened is Imran Khan didn't join, his Minister of Health didn't join, his Minister of Foreign Affairs didn't join. He sent his advisor. And now this so-called advisor is raking up Kashmir issues in this. And then if you go through his intervention, he began with thanking Nepali Prime Minister Oli for his words. Out of all those predecessors who spoke before him, and just forgetting the basic courtesy of thanking the organizer, thanking the host. One. Second, he did not, despite being, after India being the biggest coronavirus cases,
infected country,
infected country, he did not give any data. Throughout his speech, he didn't tell, unlike others, how many were found negative, how many were positive, how many were cured. He did not. And then thirdly, he said that we should learn our lesson from
China
and disseminate for SAARC states, particularly China. I can't make anything out of it. How, whether he means that China is part of SAARC or what?
Yeah, so, Mr. Sachdev, you want to add? I mean, this is just so below, you know, for Pakistan to come on a platform like this for world view, at least for the view of entire Southeast Asian region, and look at the conduct and the behavior of all the other participants. First, as Mr. Tripathi rightly mentioned, the Pakistan Prime Minister has something better to do right now.
Oh, that would be surprising, but I'll just point out to the, the ticker you're running. I think that's a very appropriate word. It's petty what Pakistan has done. And is doing. I mean, this entire occasion can be looked in a different way, which we will come to in a moment. But what Pakistan through these, statements is doing is that, kind of, it's dancing itself into a corner. It's kind of making it obvious to the observers worldwide how he looks at such opportunities. This was an opportunity for, for the nations to come together, which they are, the leaders to come together with a core message. The big picture from this gathering, I would say, is what? Is the idea of live and let live. That is why we are saying that, okay, we all are neighborhood, we all have to live together. Let's see what challenges nature gives us that we can, contend or battle with. If that's the overall objective that we are looking at, and here Pakistan comes up with such petty, reasons and pointers and snubs, as Ambassador and yourself are mentioning, that kind of, that is sad to look at it. That's one, I would say. Secondly, talking more about the meat of the matter of this conference, I think this was a very unique initiative by India. It's the first time, I think, ever since the corona crisis broke out, that world leaders are meeting in a video conference format. In some senses, it's also the shape of things to come. We are probably heading into a society where we'll see more and more of teleworking, etc. And then with this core message that, okay, how can we, look at the challenges?
Before I go across to that, of course, the headline was that the Prime Minister proposed an emergency COVID-19 fund. Also, India, as of course, the big brother of SAARC countries, made a voluntary contribution starting from $10 million, and of course, it can be expanded, and so on and so forth. But Mr. Tripathi, I just want to come back to you. Just on that point of China that you were making, that even on this forum, the Pakistan representative was talking about China. Now, if China is such a all-weather friend of yours, and if you believe that it has done so well in handling the entire crisis, why are you not coming to this platform to bring some of those solutions? Like, what is it that you have to offer?
Exactly. Pakistan does not have anything whatsoever to offer for this summit, for this video conference. They even just, as I said, they just even did not reveal the data itself. And then after that, he talks about data exchange and coordinated response.
Yeah.
Here he is not prepared to reveal even a single data, disclose even a single data. And he says that he calls upon this. I mean, better than him were the Bangladesh Prime Minister, who proposed that WHO's Asia representative should be invited for the next meeting, who proposed that there should be a cooperation through collaboration, capacity and resources, offering best, and she offered best facilities which we have. If you require, we offer that. Not even that, I mean, other countries also were so positive.
Yes, and can I just remind you, Mr. Sachdev, India offered all its neighboring countries that they are willing to bring back their citizens from Wuhan.
Absolutely.
Pakistan did not avail of that opportunity, and that came on the back of actually their citizens, sending out pleas that you must be aware of. It actually left its citizens in the lurch, organized nothing for them, did not even take India's help, unlike other countries. And several of those representatives thanked India today in this SAARC meeting. I mean, this is the kind of country we're dealing with. Forget the fact that you have enmity towards India and Indians. You did not even actually come to the aid of your own people in Wuhan, and India offered, as the External Affairs Minister said, that we offered to all our neighboring countries.
Absolutely, and I think all of us remember the videos which came out of Wuhan of Pakistani students imploring their own government to kind of, evacuate them from Wuhan. Pakistan has a chip on its shoulder, so that's out there. But to the point of China, I'll just add one more point. See, we do definitely, as the world has to learn from what came out of China. There has to be a lot of knowledge sharing. But on another aspect of what public health policy, etc., should be applied, I think we got to be very cautious, because remember one thing, China is a totalitarian state. The way China can, clamp down, the steps that China can take, no democratic country can take. India or any of the SAARC nations or anyone in the world, nobody can do what China does with its own citizens, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the examples of China, we have to take more from the technical point of view, like as to how the disease came, went, etc., but not from the policy side of how to kind of, the quarantines or the restrictions to impose, because they are virtually military situations which they've done. For us, better examples to take, I would say, would be countries like Korea, Taiwan.
No, I'm only mentioning that because unfortunately Pakistan representative ended up mentioning China, which was extremely bizarre. So look at what has happened. Just to recap, they did not have the decency and courtesy to thank Indian Prime Minister, even though he was
no named Prime Minister
did not name
or India once. Not even once.
Absolutely.